This is really interesting. In verse 22, this is the creation of the woman, Eve. But you don't hear Eve coming into the earth saying, "Where's my man?" Huh? Am I reading it right? It says the man said. Eve came into the earth. Watch this. Adam was the one who was broken. Eve came into the earth whole. She had both ribs. Society wants women to believe you're broken if you're not with somebody. But God says the woman came into the earth complete, not seeking or needing anyone or anything. I don't know who I'm talking to today, but you got to stand in your power. You are one of one. There's nothing wrong with you if you're not with somebody. You as a woman are complete. You're whole. And I gotta say it because I'm tired of us supporting a culture that tries to make women think there's something wrong with them if they're not married. It's just not true.
So I saw this video when I was scrolling through social media, and it definitely leads to a broader conversation. Now, the first thing that I want to say is that it is very hard for me to hear this video or hear this conversation that he's having and not assume, okay, again, this is my assumption, not assume that he is simply making this video because the woman who he was married to for a good portion of years is now in a certain relationship, and maybe this is actually a conversation that is kind of meant for her because he want her to go sit down somewhere and not jump into no relationship. Okay, this is just my opinion. But from what I'm seeing in this conversation, that is the only thing that I could think of that would possibly make sense in this conversation. He is using biblical stories, and he is talking about, the man and the woman. And so in his conversation, he is standing firm and letting women know that society is saying that, they need to be in a relationship with the man. They need to be married. And if they don't, then something might be wrong with them. To me, this seemed like a conversation that could be had on like a podcast episode. Okay. This seemed like something that could have been like a social media post. But it is unsettling, and it also makes a lot of sense why a lot of men are not the biggest church goers or church attenders. And it's for this specific reason. Because there is a lot of conversation that is standing there telling you, what you want to hear, what is going to make you feel good, because y'all are the biggest tithers, the biggest people with the offering. This is just my opinion. Okay? And so I'm your man. This is how, this whole dynamic of women who are in these, mental relationships with their pastor. Their man can't tell them what to do. He can't tell them what he expects from them. He can't ask them for anything. But if pastor call or if pastor say anything in the church service, he has more authority over you and your household than you have in your own house as a man. That's crazy. That's crazy. It's unhealthy. And we constantly see, again, a lot of people who are standing in the pulpit, and they are saying things to women that are making them feel good and that are stroking their emotions, but in the same breath, they are saying something extremely contradictory. So let's just go by the rhetoric, because, based off of what he said, men are broken. And they are made broken. They come into the world broken, and women come into the world perfect, without spot or wrinkle. They are whole. Men are broken. Women are whole. Okay? That's what he said. Men are broken. Women are whole. If you are standing firm and you are in support of the family structure and the family dynamic, how is it that you can tell women there is nothing wrong with them if they choose not to be married, if they want to be single, because they are whole all by themselves. But in the same breath, you are saying that men require or would need somebody to be with them because they are not a whole person. Again, I'm just going off of his rhetoric. Based off of his rhetoric, if a man is not a whole person and would need a woman to be with him, to be a helpmate for him, or to make him whole, how can we sit here and now tell women that they don't need to be in a relationship because they are whole and they are good all by themselves if we care about the family unit and the family structure? How is that possible? How? Because this message is telling women that you are perfect. You don't need no man. You don't need to be married. You don't need to be supportive to your husband. If you want to leave your man and go get divorced, you can, because you are doing him a favor by being with him, because he's the broken one. He's the one that is, misplacing a rib. You're the one who came and you were made whole. You don't need to listen to anybody telling you that you need to be burdened down in the relationship. And in my opinion, I don't feel like this is a conversation in which feminism has any place. It's just my opinion. Based on the Bible scriptures that he's using, right? He said that when a woman was created, again, this is based off of his conversation. He is emphasizing on the Bible he is preaching. So he is talking from a biblical sense. So I'm going off of what he's saying. Okay. This is my response to what he's saying. So I have to meet him where he's at so I can give you my response. If he's saying that a woman is created and she was made whole and she didn't walk around saying, where is my man at? Why would where she came from, her coming from a man and being created from him, okay, her being created from him, why would she then in turn and be looking for him when he is right there and she know where she was created from? That is like a child being born into this world and looking for their mom, okay, and trying to find them when they're literally standing right in front of her in her arms. There is no need to say, "Are you my mommy?" because that connection is felt, because he remembers what, or the baby or the child remembers what the heartbeat sound like from the inside. So when they get on the outside and she is holding them, they understand that is the same person. That's why when children are born, they have that window where they say that you need to do skin to skin and connect with your child and bond with your baby. So again, with his own rhetoric, it still doesn't make sense. I would love to know, like, if this is the conversations that you were having to women or with women, and you were telling them that they don't need to be married and they don't need to, worry about it. Society telling them that there's something wrong with them if they can't get in a relationship, and, they don't need to do any of these things because they are whole all by themselves. You see, if the conversation is that, people need to be whole prior to getting into relationships, that would be something that I could 10 toes down agree with. But if we're having a conversation saying that you don't need to be in a relationship because you are all you need to get by, that don't make no sense. We look into nature. If we look into nature, we see everybody, every other creature, they coupled up. Whether they are in a polygamous relationship, whether they are in a relationship where the men and give birth, they impregnate the women, and then the women all flock together and raise the kids together, like a sisterhood tribe, or whether they stay together. There is nobody. We cannot look into nature and say that, oh, the gorilla woman doesn't need the gorilla man. She's whole all by herself. Oh, the lion doesn't need the lioness, or the lioness doesn't need the lion. She is whole all by herself. She's the one who hunts. She's the one who, goes and finds the food. She's the one who's putting her life on the line trying to find the food. Oh, she could do bad all by herself. We don't say that. When things don't make sense, all we have to do is look at nature. Because nature don't never lie. And nature doesn't care about nobody's feelings, nobody's emotions, what anybody thinks. It just is. And when we look, we see the balance. But we're so intelligent that we start to craft and fold and change things to be a certain way and make them feel this way and because of people's feelings and emotions. And somehow, the truth gets lost in the sauce. It's interesting. It's very interesting. I would like to know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. I would genuinely love to hear you guys' opinions on this video. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and leave your comments in the comment section because I really want to know your thoughts. Like, I want to know your opinions on what he said, your opinions on what I said, if you agree with him, if you agree with me. I want to hear it all in the comment section down below. Hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in the next one. Love you.